Hello guys and welcome to my first ever YouTube video, and if you guys want to go directly to the iceberg, it is this timestamp, but otherwise I want to talk a little bit about the lore and the background story, because after 3 weeks of unemployment you basically have become like the walker and all the birds know me and such, and while walking you get ideas, you get inspired, and as David Lynch used to say, if you don't write these inspiration down you actually want to
you then you want to blow your brains out.
So I did write them down, and I was thinking that I fall asleep to icebergs and these type of mystery videos and crime sometimes every night, and I feel like I kind of want to do something similar to this in my channel, but also don't want to do things that everybody else has already seen. For example, like I don't want to make another video on the Dyatlov Pass or something, or like y'all already know, like your ears gonna start to bleed when you hear this. I was thinking that we maybe do something about China. Why? Because I'm from China, I've lived there for a long time, and I feel like China's PR right now has been rising, but not in the usual sense, and everything kind of works in a very strange way that people want to click on these type of videos, and that's fun for me because I want to talk about China. And then I was scrolling on Reddit and I saw this post on Reddit, and before that I thought I was the GOAT of Chinese mysteries. I knew everything about everything, but then I saw this and I was like, wow, this guy's the GOAT. And all credits to this guy because I just found it, he made it. But I think I'll make an iceberg series. From what I've seen is that at least in this iceberg that he made, everything is so hard to comprehend.
Nothing will make sense to your American ears.
Everything is so strange that I really feel like it would be fun to do. And I've not seen that much on YouTube coverage about this. I've seen some Spanish channel coverage, some are AI. And you know, we ain't no hablo español. We gonna do this in English, bro.
I hope you don't mind if I go out speaking to kings.
So without further ado, let's go to level 1 of the iceberg. Huang Yanqiu, or the Flying Man case, happened in the summer of 1977, where a farmer named Huang Yanqiu vanished from his village in Hebei province. What followed became one of the most puzzling and alleged abduction cases in modern Chinese history. His first disappearance was on the night of July 27th in 1977. Huang went to bed in his hometown in Feixiang, very rural Hebei province, and it was hot and his room had no door. He covered himself with a quilt and fell asleep very quickly. By the morning, he was gone from the village. 10 hours later, a telegram was sent from a repatriation center in Shanghai saying that Huang has been found and was waiting to be claimed. But that makes no sense because he could have never traveled that far in 1977 within 10 hours. When he returned home, Huang shared what he remembered. He said that he awoke in the middle of the night in a city that he had never seen before. Bright lights and tall buildings, unfamiliar streets. He was in Nanjing, which is far, far away from where he fell asleep. Here's the map showcasing it. And 2 men appeared dressed like traffic police. They handed him a train ticket to Shanghai, guiding him to the station, and told him that they will meet him there. When arrived in Shanghai hours later, the same 2 men was already waiting there. They just showed up again. They brought him to the local repatriation center where the staff had already filed a report. And just from my memory watching this case when I was younger, he had some family member being a worker at said repatriation center that confirmed that he had showed up there. Second disappearance. On September 8th, a month later, Huang disappeared again, this time during a public meeting at his home. When he didn't return, the villager began searching, and at the same time, mysterious writing appeared carved into the wall of his home. Shandong Province, Gao Dengming and Gao Yanjing, don't worry. Bro, what? He was found in Shanghai days later, this time inside a restricted military base. Like, he just wanted to go to Shanghai, bro. Military staff were shocked. No one has seen him enter. When he has How he got in, Huang said that 2 men had taken him to the base. 2 men again guided him inside and vanished without a trace. He was questioned later and eventually escorted back to the village 3 days later. Third disappearance. On September 20th, Huang vanished the 3rd time, this time the most surreal, because he claimed that he blacked out near his house and woke up in a hotel in Lanzhou, so he went westward this time, over 1,000 kilometers away. 2 men were there with him, this time openly identifying themselves as his prior guides. They admitted to orchestrating his earlier disappearance. They said that they would now take him on a 9-day journey through 9 major Chinese cities. Huang claimed that he was flown across, carried on the backs of these men. They visited Beijing, Tianjin, Harbin, Fuzhou, Nanjing, Xi'an, and others. Huang remembers sneaking into the theater without tickets, staying at hotels without ID, and watching his guys changing to military uniforms and also later reappearing in civilian clothes. A very curious detail here is that he could name the actual theater performance in Beijing, and the dates and the performance was actually correct. And the official response is that Huang's story attracted wide attention and the police investigated. Military official has confirmed that he was inside a base in September. A hypnosis session was done, revealed no obvious contradictions to his account. A polygraph test in 2004 suggested deception though. But Huang denied the results, of course. Doctors found no mental illness, no epilepsy, no head trauma, and no signs of schizophrenia. One psychiatrist described him as mildly paranoid but functional. In 2005, China's Central Television, CCTV, aired a 3-part documentary on the case, listing it among China's 3 major UFO mysteries. Huang, now older, accepts that others may see his story as strange, but he insists that he has lived it. So this case is as well also an extremely well-known case in China, and also might be a standalone episode. The thing that is strange for me in this case is that basically his whole town and his supposed family member all confirm that this is going on, but at the same time you can kind of guess why a rural town wants some publicity. But a very strange detail that he could actually name the theater performance. Another case with a little bit of similarity to the Flying Man is this Meng Zhaoguo incident, which happened in Heilongjiang province up north in China, where a forest worker named Meng Zhaoguo claimed that he had experienced something completely beyond his explanations. The strange sighting where he worked at the Hongqi forestry farm near the base of a mountain in the province. In early June, villagers reported seeing unusual lights on the mountain, what some believed might have been a helicopter crash. Meng and a small group decides to investigate. As they approached, they saw large reflective objects on the south slope, described as a massive glowing disc with curved tail-like extensions. Frightened, they turned back. 10 days later, the curiosity got the better of Meng and he returned to the site with his nephew-in-law Li. Again, they saw the object, a pale metallic structure embedded partway into the hillside. As they drew closer, it emitted a sharp electric sound. Disoriented and in pain, was knocked to the ground. The two fled the mountain after that. And 3 days later, Meng joined a larger group of 30 people, including forestry staff and a union chairman, to revisit the area. While observing the hillside through binoculars, Meng reportedly saw something, then suddenly collapsed. Witnesses say that he fell to the ground, convulsing violently, and was carried down the mountain, unconscious, and remained in a semi-comatose state over several weeks. But during Meng's recovery, he claimed to have vivid visions of tall, non-human beings who communicated with him in his dreams. The entity was female in appearance, with exaggerated features and a humanoid shape. Meng stated during these episodes the being interacted with him repeatedly, including in ways he struggled to explain. His accounts include multiple instances of a close physical contact, as I will put it now on this channel, because I'm not sure about YouTube and how they will try to take my money away. Later, he describes floating above his sleeping family while experiencing as what he called a telepathic union with the visitor. He also reported that the entity injected something into his leg. Meng said that he was taken to an alien facility where he believed was an off-world base of the aliens. He was introduced to other beings, some of whom he said spoke telepathically to him. One, described as a leader, told him three things: that they are here to observe Earth, that they were avoiding a comet to impact on Jupiter, what? And that humanity should stop waging war and protect the environment. Bro, Meng asked if he would ever see the female entity again, like bro is hooked. The answer was no, but they told him that one of his descendants might one day be born into another world. The incident was investigated by local police, forestry officials, and even reporters from Xinhua news agency. Villagers confirmed that Meng's collapse and the strange lights and even the unusual weather patterns was real, including a sudden cold snap and a massive spiral cloud over the mountain. In 2003, Meng underwent also a polygraph test. Results suggested that he was not lying, but skeptics argue that the belief in one's own delusion can also produce clean results. It's like my belief and my delusion that I will soon be able to make money on this platform. Others question his mental state, proposing sleep disorders, hallucinations, or delusional episodes, but no prior psychiatric history was ever found. To this day, this case remains one of the most well-documented and controversial UFO encounters in modern China. So I'm a bit skeptical about this one. Always when it becomes a bit sexual and the guy seems to have found some fetishes, and it's a bit funny to even read about it because it sounds so Joe Rogan-esque, you know, like Jamie pull up the guy that's the alien in China. So not too sure about this one, guys. Not too sure about the nutrition level in this one. In the 1990s, the local Guangzhou government pushed forward a major urban renewal plan. Completed in 1996, the project resulted in a 140,000 square meter shopping mall and 8 towers with over 1,000 luxury apartments. At the time, it was called the largest urban renewal project in Guangzhou. This is the Liwan Plaza. However, the emergence of Liwan Plaza radically altered the rhythm of life for long-time residents in the old Xiguan neighborhood. Critics say that it destroyed the historical context of the area, just like cutting a pair of elegant chopsticks in half. The plaza's plot ratio made it stand out abruptly among the previous low-rise and dense old city. Back in '93, Liwan Plaza has begun marketing units to overseas Chinese buyers. Nearly 800 households from Hong Kong, Macau, Taiwan, and even United States and Canada had pre-purchased the home from there. The property failed to meet inspection deadlines and buyers were forced to take ownership and make payments regardless. Related lawsuits lasted for over 3 years into the early 2000s. Because of the negative impacts, the Guangzhou government banned developers from implementing urban renewal projects in the historical areas in 1999. There is a widespread belief that Liwan Plaza was built over an old cemetery, making it an extremely cursed place. Many also believe that the building's architectural design worsened the psychological impact of the space. Over the years, multiple confirmed suicides and unexplained deaths has occurred there. According to official data from 1995 to 2017, already 14 people have died after falling from high levels of the building. And this is excluding other deaths such as electrocutions in the home. Many claim that the building was constructed over an ancient cemetery, and some of the architecture itself thought to be cursed. Viewed from above, the layout of Liwan Plaza allegedly resembles an 8 triagram, or in Chinese, 八卦, used in Taoist geomancy for warding off spirits. Others say that it looked like 8 upright tombstones, During the construction, 8 ancient coffins with no identification was unearthed. A Taoist priest warned that disturbing them would invite disaster unless the coffins were preserved, but the foreman had them cremated anyway. According to the legend, the curse would claim 8 more lives to balance the disturbance. If so, it didn't stop at 8 though. There's now also the infamous sign of the building's name, Li Wan Plaza, written in a more of a calligraphy like Chinese, made the character Guang, meaning plaza, resemble Shi, meaning corpse. Well, this for me is a bit hard to understand, because having written simplified Chinese my whole life, I would never mix these two characters together, but maybe in Canton they have used the traditional Chinese much more prevalently even after the implementation of simplified Chinese. In April 2023, the mall's sign was removed, sparking online rumors that the plaza will be renamed. The mall's representatives denies this, saying that the sign simply became a safety risk and will be replaced with a new sign using the same name. In November 2009, a disturbing case emerged from rural Chongqing. It quickly spread online and came to be known as the boy in red. The victim was Kuang, a 13-year-old student at Dongquan Middle School. He was what's often called a left-behind child in China, which doesn't mean that he's an orphan, but that his parents are working in larger cities far away, and that he's basically raised by his grandparents or other relatives. November 5th, Kwang's father came home to deliver living expenses. When he arrived, he found the front door locked and reinforced, but the back door, usually secured with 2 planks and a steel bar, had been left slightly open. Inside, he found his son's body. Kwang was hanging from a ceiling beam. His hands and feet were bound. His ankles were tied to a heavy iron counterweight. But the most unsettling detail, he wasn't wearing his own clothes. Instead, he was dressed in a bright red skirt with a swimsuit underneath. Both of these clothing belonged to his female cousin. There were no signs of forced entry, no struggle. No one in the village had heard or seen anything. Classmates hadn't seen him since October 30th, nearly a week earlier. But the school never contacted his family, saying absences weren't unusual during a flu outbreak and that they couldn't reach his family by phone. Police arrived later that day. Forensic placed the time of death around November 3rd or 4th. The body was examined and the internal organs sent for further testing. The father received 2 official notices a month later. One stated that there will be no criminal investigation. The other listed that the cause of death as accidental, not homicide or suicide. When pressed on what accidental meant, police reportedly replied that it could be happened while playing a game. The final report concluded that Kwang died from positional asphyxia, or accidental suffocation, caused by his body positioning at the time. Investigation also could conclude that he had cross-dressing habits, and candle wax was found on the bed. The ruling was met with outrage online. Many doubt the official explanation. There is theories that the boy had a cross-dressing habit and might have learned things from DVDs that were supposedly found. There is also different theories about that the boy was murdered and staged as a suicide. And there's even other supernatural theories about ritualistic elements, and some are even about life lengthening of a certain Chinese leader. But I might have to make a standalone video on these theories. Despite the public pressure and the father's appeals, the case was never reopened. Officially, it remains closed, but to this day, the boy in red is still debated as one of China's most unsettling unsolved mysteries. And unfortunately, I have basically decided to put these two together, Sorry My Baby and Bus 375 of Beijing. This is because these two are creepypastas and there is zero official reporting on this, but I will go through them quite quickly. The Beijing bus is about a bus which I remember is the last bus of the evening going towards the outskirts. The bus is sparsely seated, and during the ride it came in three quite suspiciously looking people where they were carrying one person and they were clothed in Qing Dynasty clothing, which was a bit strange, and one of the old ladies started to go mad and kind of took one of the guys off the bus together with her, accusing him of stealing her wallet, but that was faked by the old lady to be able to leave the bus, because she had sensed that these people aren't people.
Can either believe it or they cannot believe it. I don't give two but I am telling you right now, that mother back there is not real.
And the bus crashed later, so that's it. And Sorry My Baby is a shopping mall in Shanghai, in Xujiahui, which is said to be haunted during the evening because this shopping mall was located at the same location as some sort of orphanage. The orphanage was bombed during the Japanese invasion, and that the guards guarding the shopping mall during the evening hears sound of children's laughter or cries, or having a sense that there is a child around them playing hide and seek, and this is why they have started to play the song during the evening. And thank you guys for sticking with me through the whole video. I hope you survive my crap editing, and I mean, also give me a break because this is my first ever video, but at the same time I'm very happy that I did this, and I will keep going in the iceberg, and stay tuned for more parts of the iceberg, because the lower down I go, the less of the cases I actually have heard of, and that is very interesting for me. And secondly, please comment about what I should improve in, as I learned editing just a few weeks ago. I'm very bad at it, as you can see right now, but I'm trying to be better. And if I need new gears and if it doesn't sound good, just tell me everything. Go Kanye in the comments. Like, we have total freedom of speech in this channel. Like, do whatever you want, man. Go wild. As I mentioned in the description of this channel, it's not gonna only be about China or mysteries. It's gonna be a bit of whatever, but we'll see what it goes. But stay tuned, I will return.